This is Adobe Illustrator Classroom in a Book 2014 release. This is Chapter 2, Part D. We've looked at ways to select, we've looked at grouping. Now we're going to actually look at the Group Select tool. The Group Select tool is grouped with the Direct Select tool. If you hold down on the tool, it will open up the other dialog box that gives you the option to have either the Direct Select tool or the Group Select tool. We're taking the Group Select tool. We're going to click on one of the shapes in the hand, and remember we had grouped this. So there is a group for the hand, there's a group for the arm, and then there's the group that has the two together. So if I click on a part of the hand, it's going to select that part. I click a second time, it's going to select the parent group of that. If I click a third time, it's going to select the entire group. So I have control over which parts of the group I select. Clicking off the selection will pick up the entire grouping. So when I use my select tool, it's going to be the entire group. And if I do the direct select and click, I'm only going to be able to pick up whichever piece I select unless I hold down my shift key and select multiple parts. The group select allows me to pick up a single part, the subgroup, or the entire group. So now if I go to Object and Ungroup, I have all of this selected. I should be able to now pick up just the hand, just the arm. But I'm not going to get both of them because I ungrouped them. Now, when we create objects, Illustrator stacks them in order on the artboard, beginning with the first object created, and each one after that gets placed in order above it. So when I expand this, the first shape on here is going to be this antenna. Okay, so that was the first thing that was placed on this artboard. Now I can arrange how these go in order simply by selecting an object and changing the stacking order by going to Object, Arrange. So first thing we want to do here is we want to put the neck behind the head. It's behind his body, but not behind his head. And you can see the stacking order by the little blue dot, which indicates the selected piece of art in your layer panel. And I want to put that down at the bottom. I can do two things. They didn't show this in the book. I can actually grab this in here and drag it down, and you see the solid line? I can plop it down there. My other choice would be to go to Object, Arrange, and Send to Back. Now I want to move the red circles onto his eyes. So I'm going to click with my selection tool and drag this over and place it on his eye. It's hidden. It's behind the egg shape. And I really need that to be up in front because it's the pupil of his eye. Now, it's still selected because we can still see the outline, but looking in our layers panel, you can see that it's way down in the stacking order. I want to bring that up to the top. I can go Object, Arrange, Bring to Front. Okay? Now, I'm going to bring the next one over and drop it down. And this time, I'm going to deselect it. Now, this is not convenient, is it? Because maybe you click accidentally off to the side, you can't really grab it, but you really need to get that. Well, if I select, I'm only going to be able to select that other white of the eye. Well, to get to the selection that's behind, I pretty much know where it is. I know where I set it. I'm going to use my control key on my PC on the Mac. You're going to use the command, and I'm going to hold that down and click. Notice it changes the color of my selection tool, and I just keep clicking in that area until I get the eye. Now I can go to Object, Arrange, Bring to Front, or I can find where I have this object selected and I can drag it up to the top. Come on, you're going to drag for me. There it is, and I just dragged it up to the front and put it on top of the other path. So now we have the eyes together. We can click off and deselect. Now, there's one more part on this that we can't see because it's hidden. So I'm going to go to Object and Show All. And our robot has a mask. Problem is now his eyeballs are on top of the mask, and that's not really how they're supposed to be. So we're going to go Object, Arrange, and Bring to Front. Now I can't select the eyes. I could if I used my Command key or my Control key, and I can pick this up, but if I hide the selection again, which I can use the shortcut keys of Control or Command plus the number 3, or I can go to Object, Hide, Selection again, and now of course the object is hidden and I can still touch and select the eyes. I'm going to go to Object, Show All. By the way, I'm going to select this. You need to understand this part. If I have another object selected, but I go Object, Show All, by default, it's going to lose the selection I had, and it's going to select the items that were hidden. So now the mask is showing again. It's also selected. I want to adjust an eye, so I'll go to Object, Lock, Selection, and now I can still see it, but I can select the pupils of the eyes, and I can drag them around. I can select the head, I can select the white ovals, so I can still make movements on that. We're going to hide that selection again, which is not, I can't pick it up, so I have to go to Object, Unlock All, because I can't select it, so I can't hide it when it's locked. Object, Lock, or I'm sorry, Hide, Selection, and again it's hidden. And I want you to go into View, make sure your Smart Guides are turned back on because you'll need them for your next lesson. And we're going to save this file. You can save the file that you've completed, but to send it to me, I want you to go to File, Save As, and you're going to save this. Instead of as an Illustrator file, we're going to make a smaller file. We're going to select Adobe PDF. I want you also to add underscore and your initials to the file name so that I can find which one is yours. It gets confusing. I have 15 students in the class. And if everybody turns in a lesson that says L2 start, I will not know whose lesson is who. I need to have the initials so I can identify your file. Now, when you put that in, select Adobe PDF. Also select Range. We only need the first artboard, so you can type in the number 1. If it shows the 1-2, you can simply erase -2. We only need the number 1 artboard. So click Save. And I'm going to replace it because I already saved it. The next dialog box will say Illustrator Default. I want you to click the drop down and select Press Quality. The rest of the default you can leave. You will, when you say Save PDF, you will get Adobe Acrobat Reader to come up. If you don't have Reader, you can get it for free from getreader.com, and or just Google Acrobat Reader, and you'll be able to download it. It's a free software. You'll be able to download it. You'll see what your item looks like, and once it comes up, you can close that, and that is the file that you are going to turn in to me.